Have you guys ever had someone that kind of is a bully because they know they're better at something than you? It's kind of irritating, right? Well, Maslow once said, "He that is good with a hammer tends to think everything is a nail." So someone that, you know, is a bully and knows they're better at something than you, but kind of expose it and not be so nice about it. So for example, like a bigger kid, you know, when you're young, bigger kids are usually bullies. If you don't mature at an early age, and others do, you kind of don't get the physical strength other kids have. So for example, I was the youngest in my family. I had a big brother, and you know how that goes. He always just was better at everything than me. 2 years older, he grew up faster than I did as far as physically, and we would play video games. If he didn't win, he would just throw the controller and just, you know, the N64s, how they have the pause button or the restart button. You just hit it real quick. I couldn't win ever. But that's great. So I feel that you should let people win. You know, in the long run, it makes you feel better as a person, and it makes everything civil. And that's why I think, you know, if you have the hammer per se, and there's a nail, you shouldn't hammer it, because in the long run, I mean, if you keep, you know, hurting people and beating them at everything like my brother did, it kind of makes you demoralized, and you think you can't win at everything in the future. So, especially as a family, you know, a person in my family, he should have been a little bit nicer. But yeah, I mean, so those are the three things. You should let people win. I mean, if you're an older brother or sister, don't bully your siblings. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Dustin, you want a little bit more control at the beginning of the speech. You have a tendency to look down away from the audience, and this is when you really need to engage them. You can look down later on when you're thinking of the next idea, but at the beginning, you have to pull us in. That's, you know, the place where you're trying to get everybody's attention. It sort of sounds like you agree with the topic, but then it seems like you're shifting to the issue of bullying. I think that I see the connection that you're talking about there, but I think you need a clear statement of what it is you're trying to say during the presentation. Now, later on in the speech, you talk about 3 ideas that you're going to that you discussed, but I didn't detect any preview. I didn't hear a plan that was coming up. I couldn't pick out anything other than the one example that you had of your brother basically bullying you as a kid. So that felt like there's really just one point that's being developed there, not multiple points. Now, you may have felt like you had some structure there, but I didn't really hear it in the presentation. Maybe when you listen to it, you'll hear what I heard, or maybe you'll hear what you thought was going on in your head. You'll have to double check that. I did think that you had some nice detail with the example of your brother talking about the video game and putting it on pause and how you could never win. I thought that people can relate to those sorts of things, especially anybody who has an older sibling. They know how those things sometimes happen. There's that phone thing I said. Yeah, remember, put it on silent. All right. Your voice is low key while you're speaking. I think your range needs to be a little bit broader. That would put some more energy into the presentation. There's nothing wrong with being low key, but you also want to be engaging, and I think that some energy would help that. Everything flows very smoothly, like I said. I thought your gestures, they were okay. They're a little limited. Your facial expression usually is consistent with the subject that you're talking about. There are a couple of times and that worked well. Look, when you look up at the audience, I think you do an okay job connecting with us, but you don't do it that often. You're frequently giving your speech kind of down to the front of the room, not quite the floor, but you're looking away from the audience the vast majority of the time that you're speaking. When you do look up and connect, I think that you come across really sincerely, but you're not doing that as much as you need to. There's a little bit of pacing at the beginning of the speech, or your body's moving back. That's maybe some place where anxiety is coming out. And in the second half of the speech, that cuts down, and I guess you've relaxed a little bit, and you feel a little bit more focused at that point. And of course, there's that exit line again. Thank you.